I wanted to ask if making this and getting this phone call feels so totally different than the phone call you got about the Olympics, about being an alternate.
Yeah, it does. I think that, when the roster's coming out and the numbers, everybody's like putting every person's name down and you're like counting.
Counting.
Yeah, literally counting. You're like, okay, there's 18 players, there's 23 players. I think these ones are for sure. These are like bubbles, blah, blah, blah. And so with the Olympics, like I knew, and it's crazy to say, but like I knew it was going to be between me or Christy at the time. I remember saying that to you too. And I was like, I'm not going, Christy's going. Oh, because I had just like figured it out. I feel like I'm also like a very realistic person. But leading up to that too, I was like doing the same thing I was doing in my brain for the World Cup, like spiraling basically, like wanting something so bad and seeing that it was so close that I just like stopped playing how I can play. And if I messed up or missed a pass, I was like, oh my God, I'm not going to make the team and I'm going to blow all this stuff. So I think it was that like She Believes. I finally got Mel as our sports psych. And she was just like, stop doing that. And so then going into the Olympics, I think that like there was that one last game where I went in for like 2 minutes and Mel was like, you got to show everything you possibly can show for 2 minutes. And I think I did that. I was like running, I got the ball back, played it, and then scored the goal. And I was like, that's all I got. Like that's what I can do. And obviously the call wasn't terrible, but it wasn't like you made the team. You're an alternate. So I think that actually solidified me being an alternate because I don't know if I was going to actually even be an alternate at all. And then this time I was like, I just don't want to ever feel that feeling again of like, not that I was going to make it or not make it, but that I didn't feel like I gave it my all or gave myself a chance to even make it. So going into this call, I had a good idea that I'd be making it. You never know though, but I was just more okay with like, I literally did everything I could possibly do. And if they didn't want me, then I was like, what can I do? Like I tried, at least I tried.
Why do you think not why do you think, this is obviously like a true statement, but like you have how many caps do you have?
50.
So you have over 50 caps. You've been playing for the national team for years. You have a bunch of goals, a bunch of assists. Yeah. Why is it that we don't really feel like we're on the team until we make a huge tournament roster like this? Like this is such a huge moment because you're you have to make a World Cup or Olympics. And even though you have all this experience, it's like, this is the moment that you wait for.
I know. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
I just feel like because it's like a trial. Like all the camps are trials for the roster. It's like years of trials.
Exactly. That's how I explain it to people all the time. I'm like, well, it's just like a constant tryout.
Yeah.
And people are like, what do you mean? Like you're on the team? And I'm like, not yet.
Not yet. No, it's just like a revolving team forever. And then I feel like once you make a roster, you're on the team.
Yeah.
But then you could be dropped
that tournament.
For that tournament. Yeah. And then you could be dropped from the team at any moment. It's stressful. Why do we do this?
It's super competitive. Yeah. Okay. So there's some versatile players on the roster. I feel like being versatile, maybe being able to play multiple positions in a locked roster where things could change. Somebody could get hurt, God forbid. A game plan could change. Yeah. You're versatile. Do you think you'll play out wide? In the middle? What do you see? What's your expectation?
I mean, I think that historically I've played in the wide position, so either the 7 or the 11. But more recently with Gotham, I've played in the 9. Also, like obviously with North Carolina, I was a 9 too, but it was just a double 9 instead of the 1. So I can see myself like doing both. I feel like the national team does see me as a 7 or 11. But I don't know. I think that like maybe I can go in as like a backup. Literally have no idea. I have no idea. But I think that like it is good that the difference being here than when we were in North Carolina is I felt like because we would play one system and then come into the national team, I was like having to learn a new system all the time. Whereas I feel like I've gotten reps in all 3 positions, actually, the 7, 11, and the 9 with Gotham. So I feel like more comfortable to, if halfway through a game somebody's like, you have to go here, I'll be like, okay, like it's fine. I've seen the runs, I've seen the almost like the chess match before just stepping into that position.